Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. Today we're sitting down with Tviq, who has been one of the most flexible pro players in history of Overwatch, to talk about which are the best DPS heroes to be playing in the role-up meta of 222, whilst also going into detail on why Mei and Reaper are so good right now, and who should you be playing, basically. You can find all of Tviq's details in the description below, and if you did enjoy this style of video, let us know in the comments below and like this video. But let's get started. So before we get started in doing this, Tviq, why should people listen to you when it comes to the multitude of DPS heroes that are out there? Because you have been one of the most flexible players in the game, right?
I mean, if you really look at it, I've been playing this game for a really long time, and I've always been like the guy who is known for not really being like the most specialist type of player, but rather the most flexible player. I know how to play like each different hero to like its utmost best, and I would say that it's a really core strength of my playstyle.
You were really famous way back when for being one of the first to pick up Mei in the pro scene as well, weren't you?
Yeah, you could say that, being able to play the devil in that, it's kind of rough.
So I kind of wanted to go over, with roll-up being a thing now and lots of balance changes, and a lot of like confusing things happening. We have like a tier list on screen going from like S tier to D tier. Where would you put what? So let's start with the heroes that are really popular right now. Who are your S tier DPS picks that people should be playing now?
I would say there would be Hanzo, Mei and Reaper. Those that would be my, in general, on almost most maps, like the S tiers, which is really, 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 really strange. Actually, you can also add Sombra to that, because Sombra is just broken, straight up broken.
Hanzo sort of makes sense. We'll talk about Hanzo Widow in a second, but why Mei, first of all? Because Mei's the one that's catching a lot of people out. Most people kind of understand it to an extent, but in your own words, why is Mei now a monster pick for roll-lock?
Well, so I would say that she was already like a really good pick into goats, but the back when the goats was like the thing, and so to say. But not a lot of people actually knew how to play Mei into goats, because it was very different. You see how many people towards the later stage of goats, everybody started playing Sombra, because Sombra as a hero is really broken. And then if more people would have picked up earlier onto the Mei and Sombra playing into goats, I think goats would have looked a little bit different. But the reason why she's so good right now, I think, is just her kit is just defensively super strong. It's really hard to play kind of dive-ish characters, just straight up dive into her, because you can, basically because of the wall just straight up blocks up the supports from being able to help the dive. And what is also her freezing ability, as long as the team has a way to stay alive during the time that she basically destroys the tanks together with the other DPS, it's just overall really strong kit, while she's also one of those characters that can't really be died because she has ice block.
She has she kind of acts like another tank.
Yeah, she's basically a tank. So looking at Owl going on right now, so the heroes that is being picked is generally the heroes that are 250 HP, just because they are basically tanks. They're the closest thing you can get to tanks, and everybody's been playing as much tanks as they've been, for the last year, basically, because of goats. And they're trying to, in a sense, emulate that in the DPS hero picks as well, making it really hard to just insta delete characters unless you're playing Widowmaker, which is also kind of broken.
And that's why Reaper's been played a lot too.
Yes.
Right? I assume similar sort of thing. 250 HP, a lot of abilities to get him out of situations, and self-regen on damage done as well, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So why is Hanzo in the S tier whilst Widowmaker isn't? I assume Widowmaker's going to be A tier, right? So she'd be here.
So, because, yes, I would say that she is definitely on A tier. She's on the edge between S and A tier. What Hanzo has that Widowmaker kind of doesn't is just a spam on a Risa shield. So if you would be, because you see, there are also times where you see Mei Hanzo being played, where Mei is kind of just making sure that they don't get any value from ball hook, right? So Hanzo is there to make sure that you not only have the shield spam, but you also have the pick potential. He's also kind of a character that he can survive on his own, but he's much better if you actually have a pocket for him. You know, if you're playing a Mercy with him. Not a lot of teams have seemed to be playing a lot of Mercy though, but he's still a really good pick on his own. That's why I rate him as an S tier, just because he has the spam that Widowmaker doesn't. And obviously Widowmaker basically is an S tier hero, but I don't want to put her there because Hanzo can basically do what she does, but he can also be more flexible in terms of like game plans, so to say.
Probably depends on the team as well. Like some Overwatch League teams just having a really good Widowmaker would opt for that more. But in a general sense, Widowmaker's not as good as Hanzo because you can't do as much. Which I guess is most important when playing in like ladder, like the majority of us.
Yeah.
What other heroes would be like A tier, do you think? Out of the bottom ones?
Out of the bottom ones, they would be I would put Ashe up there too, because of the not a lot of teams, not everybody, and especially on ladder, I think, is not like playing a lot of Diva, but playing with Ashe, it kind of requires to get like to use her to the full potential. It kind of requires her to be like having a Mercy pocket with her, so that she gets more damage out of the dynamite, which basically means she has 2 bobs per fight. Because that starts like the charge is so fast.
These are like the top 6 heroes in the game currently for DPS, right?
Yeah, I definitely would say so. There was like these heroes are for the average rank player. I'd say it's like a very good start to pick up if you are like just starting out to playing Overwatch, or like if you are looking to like kind of break through in a sense. These are the heroes that you want to play.
And like break it into these like categories, like, you know, practice your snipers or practice like your close range.
Yeah.
Almost like utility heroes, right? So this would be like a good way to sort of focus on.
Yeah, I definitely would say so.
A pull there.
And when it comes to basically the rest of the heroes that we have at the bottom of the screen, it's just, well, if you are already really good at them, then you could make them work, but all of them are basically at the same range where it's like they are extremely situational. I don't think one of them is better than the other.
Would it be like B tier then? Like what heroes would be in there?
I almost want to put like all of them there basically, because I don't know how I would,
even like Bastion.
Yeah, I don't know how I would really rate them in like individually, other than just like, okay, they're all here, they exist, they're extremely situational to like actually make play, and I don't know whether like a pick is better than the other one. It just depends on the player that is playing them. Can they make it work? Then it's because of the player, not because of the hero really, that is like on average really good versus what is generally being played. And generally what I'm thinking, like when I say generally, I always think about the Orisa Hog or like Orisa Diva. I basically always think of the Orisa. And the rest of these heroes, they get kinda stuck in a sense, because most of the time these guys will only end up shooting the shield, while not really being able to do much once that shield is dead, because they either it doesn't really die because Tracer doesn't really shoot at it, or that Junkrat is really good at shooting at it but he has a hard time doing damage afterwards, or for Soldier he's also kind of just stuck there shooting it. He can kind of do a little bit after it, but he doesn't have the necessary damage to kill the shield, or like to help kill the shield and then shoot the people behind it. So I think,
well, this is really good though, isn't it? That you have all of the DPS at least being like B tier. Like surely that's very good for like the state of the game, right? Or you feel like it's because S tier and A tier it's more like that these heroes are more like C tier, that like there's a huge like gulfing class between playing a really good Doomfist versus playing a really good Widowmaker. Like there's a huge gap between these heroes and their effectiveness versus these 6 heroes on the top.
I would say that it's like it requires a like extremely skilled player to make any of these ones actually legitimate work on like on average. You might just have your game where it works really well because the enemy team is playing a weird composition, not playing the basically Orisa, and like I would say the differences between making a really good Soldier work compared to a good Sombra is basically just like the Sombra player doesn't even need to be like a quarter of like the skill level as the Soldier would be. The Soldier would literally have to play beyond perfect in order to actually make use of him. And if you slip up just a little bit, you're dead. And like he's not really able to do anything. While the Sombra can just like, well, I go in, I get the hack, alright, I didn't get it, I get out and I do it again in 2 seconds. It's kind of like, Yeah, this like most of these basically now on C tier heroes, they have almost almost no room for error whatsoever. I think it just has forced the DPS classes or heroes rather to be like to have a sort of way to really play. But the problem is just that the power creep basically that has been happening for a really long time is kind of out of control for the A and S tier heroes, while the C tiers the C tier heroes, they will see play if we have a different main tank meta, so to say, or like a different meta for the tanks being played. For this moment right now, I would say that the S and A tiers, they are there because the power creep has been like creeping up so much that these guys are just like, you can have so much error and you can still make it work compared to the C tiers.
Finally, I guess we'll sort of finish this like tier list video, at least for now. What kind of final things do you really want to gloss over? You know, when Roll-Up comes in, people might be going, you know, I have to focus on playing DPS, I have to focus on playing tank or playing support. Out of these 6 heroes, how would you order them in who you should definitely be trying to learn to play versus very niche pickups? Because Mei, for example, you might not have those transferable skills because you haven't been playing Mei for the past like year and a half. Whereas Hanzo Widow have always been quite good. So how would you order them in terms of definitely play this hero versus maybe play this, but you have to dedicate a lot of time to learning Mei or Reaper?
I would say that the pick that I would say is like almost 100% that you should learn is Sombra. It's just because Sombra is just like, her kit is just so damn like broken, like basically broken. You can almost always make it work. And then when it comes to it, Mei and Reaper, I would say, are basically niche picks where
so they'd be down here somewhere, maybe.
Yeah,
something like that. Would that make sense to you?
I would put Ashe and Widowmaker like right under Sombra, because all 3 of those basically have a transferable kit. Basically, if you're really good at Widowmaker, you're probably gonna be a good Ashe too, or like it may require some practice to kind of like get used to the Ashe scope rather, but it still like applies to it. The playstyles are very similar, or like similar-ish, so that you should be able to play it, and together with Hanzo too. Playing with the projectile compared to the hit scans is not really that different, because the projectile from Hanzo is so ridiculously fast. Like, it shouldn't be too difficult to really pick it up, especially if you wanna, if your goal is to getting into Owl, then it shouldn't be like a difficult pickup for you, because that Hanzo is very like a very general really good pick, because well, the hero kit is just so strong.
Okay, yeah, I could sort of put it that way then. There are a lot of players, including myself, that sort of taking a little bit of a holiday from ranked Overwatch until Roll Q comes in. No doubt you're going to be streaming it a lot when it comes live, sort of in a couple of weeks now, I think, at least for like the test season. Where can people see more of you rocking the DPS tree, no doubt?
I definitely see my one trick Mei and Hanzo XD. You can find me at twitch.tv/Tviq, and I'll basically be streaming as much as I possibly can, as I don't really have anything else to do.
And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, you can check out all of Tviq's stuff in the description below. Do check him out, give him some love. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.